Rico Tenny. Tenny is family name. My job is, as we see, is automotive engineering, sports cars, exotic cars, race cars, vintage cars, anything that has to do with the dynamic of the vehicle in itself. When I was 12 years, 11 years old, it was customary in Italy that kids, instead to be goofing around, they were doing something smart. And I always had the passion of mechanics and things like that, so I had an opportunity to spend time in shops welding, and so I did. I rather took upon myself issues of language barriers and new issues to be learned, problems, and also the governmental regulations that are, at some point just obscene. Ever so the joy of my decision of having left Italy behind me 30 years ago rather than being there yet, which would make it impossible for me to do anything over there. It was like almost cultural, that desire, a personal desire to travel, to go and see out there. What people say is wonderful. If I see it with my eyes, it's better. The first time I raced in Laguna Seca of all the places. We're talking about vintage racing. I had my heart rate going from 30 a minute to 300 a minute, and all variation, and just the visual, the sound, the environment, and the fact that I was driving, and it was just a tsunami of emotions. You need to have it, and it requires physical condition, competitiveness, constant fighting. You never give up. You keep going with the same spirit no matter what. If you succeed in what you're doing by building, if you build your own car, obviously the pleasure is ever so multiplied. If there is a gold medal for a mechanics, I will get it. If there is a gold medal for an engineer, I will get it. If there is a gold medal for a driver, I will get it. So I get everything and anything. By doing it yourself, you have to do all this work, but the credit is yours, and the joy is immense, the satisfaction. Especially for me, because that's my job. That's my job. So not just driving quick, but also building really, really very quick cars.
Very few shops actually have run or worked on by people who race cars. So Enrico has a feeling of what the car should be doing, not just the technical aspect of what the engine should be doing, but when everything's all put together. Enrico's very good that he has a competitive license. Everybody who was out there over the weekend has at least one license. I think Rico and I have 3 licenses. So you have to go through a certain amount of school and training. Rico has that, and because he has that, it makes him a better mechanic. They have what they call test days. You can go to a track like Sears Point, you can go there and you can race your car and test it. Enrico has that capability. So that's what Enrico does that would be different than what other mechanics do.
What I used to do is testing, which requires probably a tiny bit more skills than just being able to race a car, because it involves the feeling the vehicle, feeling the car. You sit in it, you drive around, you figure out how come, what does the car do, and what is it that causes certain behavior. So it requires a very deep knowledge of the vehicle. So I build something special, I engineer something special, I sit in it and I drive them, and I beat the big boys. Big boys with big wallets. They could say, I want this in blue. Sure, sir. And they do it. This is out of my own hands. That's it. And the satisfaction, the confirmation of what you are for the little that you are is undebatable, undiscussable, is the ultimate reality, and that's good enough for me. To the point of taking off, and entering the racetrack is like there are moments in which you say, what am I doing really? I said, even going to the races, you want to say, like, at the moment you are in it, then everything changes. It's so that's the pleasure of it. Everything disappears, whatever the daily life concerns, politics, this and that, everything. You are just out there, you and your car, and that's it. And you get a sense of freedom, of a wonderful sense of freedom, of complete independency of all kind of stuff. You don't have time to think and say, oh, well, I need to pay the rent, I need to do this, I need to do endless, which robs you from the pleasure of life sometimes. By being in the car, at least that's my experience, and out on the track, as soon as you start rolling, it's just like absolutely beautiful. You can concentrate on something. You are deprived from having the luxury or the misery of thinking of anything else but what you're doing. They are getting more and more exciting as you race. So that means that every race that you have it gets ever so exciting. In fact, the last most exciting race was in Sears Point. Because you learn more, so you get smarter about it, you get trickier about it, you get quicker about it, and you have the benefit of experience, so you feel more relaxed. So for now, the most exciting race, it's always the last one. And the next one, I'm sure that I have more knowledge that will contribute to a better situation, to a better result. Like I said, I'm 62, I still don't know nothing. But I'm excited about what is out there to be known, so I get onto it all day long, because it's fun. And it's good to know, real knowledge.